Join us at Women of Courage and celebrate the achievements of women.
The Women of Courage show is being broadcast by the Women and Children Restoration Ministries to help you problem solve, to help you dream again, to help you believe that anything is possible. We want you to believe that you do not have to marry the first man that you see just for someone to take care of you. You do not have to live a life of drudgery. You can educate yourself. All you have to do is learn to read competently. We want you to take a chance on yourself. Stop believing all the soothsayers around you that have never left the state in their lives. People who do not have the courage to fly. People who only think of lying, cheating, and stealing. You can live an exciting life. All you have to do is believe that you can make your dreams come true. You do not have to go to bed with someone you despise, day in and day out. You have the right to marry someone that you can talk to, someone that believes in you and has faith in you as a human being. In other words, you do not have to settle for just anyone. But what you must do is strive toward your goal. You must be goal-oriented. You must organize yourself. You must be clear about what you want in life and why you want such a life. All of us are made up of dreams. As our dreams unfold in our lives, our spirit soars. Realizing our dreams become a problem because oftentimes we are beaten down by our friends and family. We're beaten down at school by people laughing at us because of our shoe size, ear size, breast size, saying nothing will come of our lives.
I am going to change up today. We're going to spend our time discussing two books. The Woman I Want to Be, and the other book is Be Not Defeated in Hard Times. The first chapters of both of these books can be read on the website touchedbythelight.us. I know you do not like to read, but I believe that is one of the core problems that you are facing in your life, and the reason why you're unhappy is because you do not have enough information to conduct your life. The entire purpose of this show, being sponsored by the Women and Children's Restoration Ministry, is to stimulate you to look at your life differently, to give you the courage to change your life. Why continue day in and day out living a life of unhappiness? Yes, you are unhappy. Every time you take a drink, every time you smoke marijuana, that's a sign of your being unhappy. And you're using these drugs to dull the pain. Sometimes you go to church hoping you can find some relief there, hoping God will send you a miracle. Well, he gave you a miracle by giving you life, so why not do something with your life? Most people ignore good advice. They are so intent on bemoaning their circumstances that they do not hear. They don't hear someone telling them that there is a way out. Please listen to this information and take it to heart. You do not have to be a 60-year-old woman having to stand on her feet all day working at Walmart or McDonald's. You can go back to school. You can find you a tutor. You may even have to take some remedial classes. Nevertheless, you can succeed. Yes, you will be sitting in class with people who are younger than you. So what? Yes, you will feel bad inside, ashamed that you did not try getting an education earlier in your life. That's the past, so forget it. Yes, it will be difficult, but at least you will be pursuing your dream. You will have to learn to control your emotions and your thoughts. You have to stop thinking negatively. You will have to constantly tell yourself you are going to make it, that you can succeed just like everybody else, that you are getting the education for yourself, not your brother, not your mother, and not your best girlfriend. You're getting the education for yourself, that you want to please yourself. You will not be sitting before a television like all of your other friends trying to dull your pain by drinking and smoking marijuana. Please listen to this information and take courage. You can do it. You can change your life by changing the way you think and the way that you do things. All you need to do is plan and believe. I presented to you the above information to introduce the book, The Woman I Want to Be. You need to read this book. It is a small book, but it has a powerful message. And to my male listeners, any reading material I suggest is equally important to men as well as women, because some of you have daughters. My broadcast may target women, but men can surely learn from my shows. The book tells you you must make up your mind that you are going to take control of your life, regardless of what other people have to say about the direction that you choose. You have to believe that you can accomplish as much with your life as other people accomplish with theirs. You must be resolved to go out and get the knowledge that you need to conduct yourself, what you have to do, and to be the person that you want to be. This is it. You're going to take a stand. You are not going to ignore the desires of your heart. What you are going to ignore are the naysayers in your life. You are going to move away from them. You are going to eliminate all naysayers from your life. You are going to seek new and more interesting people to pal around with. You're going to seek out people who not only have a plan for their lives, but people who are living these plans. You are going to associate with people who not only talk about their future, but are moving toward new and better futures. You will refuse to associate with anyone who is always using the word easy. As soon as a person gives you or talks to you about the word easy, you pay real close attention to this person because their thinking is not correct. So you are going to avoid all people who are constantly using the phrase, I'm a gonna. I'm a gonna do this and I'm a gonna do that. You will not associate with people who lie, cheat, and steal. People who are always looking for someone that they can use, abuse, or cheat. You do not have to let other people define you just because you have big feet or your nose is too large for them. Look at the people around you. I mean, really take a good look. They are not perfect physically or mentally. Everyone you meet is fighting some sort of problem. They are either in the process of fighting that problem or they just won over that problem and they're taking a celebration at their success for overcoming whatever other people said that they could not do or should not do with their lives. You're going to have to do some bookkeeping to determine where you are, what obstacles you have to overcome. Make certain you are living in a safe area. You must exercise safety precautions. You should always park in a safe location or ask an attendant to accompany you to your car if you leave a store late at night. You need to survey your net worth. You should establish a savings account for a rainy day. I don't care if you just save $5 a week. You should sit down and talk to yourself and decide whether you should return to school for further education. In other words, sit down and take an inventory of your life. The greatest thing that you can do in inventorying your life is not to look back. You must accept the mistakes that you have made. Put the mistakes behind you. Do not holler and scream at your mate or your children because you are angry with the circumstances of your life. Just change. When you face the past, you have to say to yourself, okay, I did it. That's that. And it's over with. Tell yourself those were not good decisions and I will not make them again. I will learn from my errors in the past and I will move on with my life. I accept that some of the past relationships did not work out. I cannot change the past, but I can affect my future. You want to change professions because you do not like your job. Ask yourself what job would you like to perform in the future. Think realistically about your choices. Sit down and see if you can change professions safely. That means economically. Do you need more education? How are you going to pay for this education? Should you work at McDonald's to earn extra money that you will need for education? You don't have to tell anybody that you're working part time at McDonald's and working a full time job somewhere else. You are definitely not to tell anyone of your plans because you will not need them telling you what you can and cannot do at work. Soothsayers are good for discouraging people. Working at McDonald's will not be that bad once you begin telling yourself that by the end of the year, how much money you will have in the bank. Tell yourself that you are accomplishing something, that you are going about changing your life. It is possible to work at McDonald's to save enough money to start a business. Several people have done it. Thousands of people have worked two jobs to earn enough money to start their own business. The key to this is keeping your mouth shut and to tell your spouse to keep her mouth shut or his mouth shut. In laws are the worst soothsayers, especially when they are afraid that you're going to try their dreams. Soothsayers are people who did not have the guts to fight for their dreams. They love to tell other people what can and cannot be done based on their failures in life. Soothsayers are people who give up on their dreams. They gave up on their dreams early in life. They let society beat them down. They let society tell them what they could and could not do. And the soothsayers accepted what they were told. Soothsayers live miserable lives. They get up in the morning, start their morning off like someone told them. They drive to work like someone told them to do. They leave work and drive home like someone told them to do. And at the next day, they start the routine all over again. Internally, they are disappointed. They are unhappy. They are sad. They use adultery as a distraction. They need something to tell them that they are still alive. When all they have to do is decide that they are going to live the life the way they want to live and work the job that they want to job, which will make them happy. Remember all of the women that we previously discussed? If you think about these women, every woman who we previously discussed proves only sacrifice can bring you great strength. And remember, keep your mouth shut if you choose to work at Wendy's, McDonald's, or Burger King so you can make some extra money and save it to go back to school or to buy yourself a house. Because you know what your friends are going to do? They're going to find that McDonald's and start coming into McDonald's and smiling and laughing at you. So you don't need this, so don't tell nobody what your plans are. Shut your mouth. During this session, we are going to discuss winning. Winning has nothing to do with luck. It has to do with preparation, self-control, assurance, tenacity, commitment, fortitude, and courage. To win, you must be honest with yourself. Why lie about who you are just to keep up appearances, to keep up with the other women or men in the neighborhood, spending money that you do not have, hoping someone or some way you can pay your house note because you went out and purchased a $500 purse just to impress someone? You have to think about your conduct. You are married, but you start dating Albert. Your husband, Daryl, finds out and divorces you. Now you are in your 60s. You have no pension, so you have to go to work at McDonald's or Wendy's just to take care of yourself. Albert never asked you to marry him, and he soon left after your divorce. See, you can lose a husband and a man on the side at the same time. What women do not know is the man on the side is only attracted to you because you are married, which means he's not responsible for you. When your brother tells you not to bring a man into your home over your children, you argue with him. Now that your son is in prison and your daughter is working on the street, you want to tell them how sorry you are. Your brother has stopped talking to you because of your conduct. In fact, no one in the family wants to have anything else to do with you because you allow your boyfriend to bring you down in life. He is the reason why you got caught selling stolen goods and was sent to prison. Your boyfriend told you stealing was easy, and that way y'all could stay home, drink or smoke marijuana, and watch TV. See, bad behavior contributed to your not being a winner. Emotions can make you physically ill. You can approach your day anticipating gloom and doom. You become sick at work where finally you can barely drive home because you have a headache from worrying. Not once have you tried to change your experience. What you are experiencing is fear caused by something that you fear. You have let fear control your every waking moment. Your thoughts and fear can put you in a box that will keep you from winning at home and at work. You are failing because you do not believe and you lack courage to find out what you need to know. If you want to win, then you must practice winning. The first thing you need to do is select an outfit and keep that outfit in your closet along with a pair of nylons and a pair of nice shoes and a handbag just in case you need to go and find out about a job at the spur of the moment, or you have an appointment in the evening that's important. Keep this outfit in the closet always. That way you are prepared. You don't have to run around the house frantic trying to find something to wear. The optic word in winning is persist. Do not venture off course. You must have a clear, defined goal. You have to learn to keep your mouth shut. People hear you talking at work or gossiping at church, and they will not share information with you because they know you're a loudmouth. They don't want you telling their business. So do not give your ideas away at work or at home or with your friends. Your friends will betray you for money, honey. Here are two examples of what can happen when you believe in yourself. On January 8, 2019, Sergeant Tara Lynn Baker became the first female Marine to graduate, completing the Winter Mountain Leadership course. Now Baker is qualified to teach other Marines how to survive a treacherous mountainous climate. The 6-week course is a rigorous program that trains Marines to conduct operations at high altitudes and in alpine terrains. The course is to teach one to survive in intense cold where you encounter frostbite and hypothermia. The Marines must learn how to overcome the snow and cold. This is what Sergeant Baker had to say for herself. I learned what I'm capable of. I learned what I can do and what I can accomplish, and nobody can tell me that I can't. I'm proud of myself. Nobody else needs to be proud of me. I've definitely been through the ringer, being a whole 115 pound right now and carrying anything from 60 to 95-pound pack or dragging a sled that's a good 65 pounds through the snow on skis. It's definitely a challenge for the body. To this, January 1st, 2019, 17 black female judges were sworn into office in Harris County, Texas. One of the judges sworn in was County Judge Linda Hidalgo. She was also sworn in on Hidalgo is a 27-year-old Colombian immigrant who unseated the incumbent Republican Ed Emmett in the November election. At the time, Emmett had held the position of county judge for more than 10 years. February the 2nd, 2019, the Navy flew the missing man formation to honor the first female jet pilot, Navy Captain Rosemary Bryant Marina. Retired Captain Marina died January 24th, 2019 at the age of 65. Her funeral was held in Maynardville, Tennessee. The flyover consisted of an all-female aviators from Squadron Base at a Navy air station, Oceana in Virginia. In 1973, Rosemary Marina was one of 8 women selected to fly military aircraft and received her wings from the Navy the following year. In 1982, she became one of the first females to serve aboard a U.S. Navy warship, the USS Lexington, where she also qualified as a surface warfare officer. Then, 8 years later, she became the first woman to command a military aviation squad. When she retired in 1997, she had logged 17 aircraft carrier landings and she had completed over 3,500 flight hours in 15 different aircrafts. Her father was a military aviator who was killed during the Korean War in 1956. Rosemary Marina was 3 years old when he died. Although she was qualified to fly a commercial airline, the field was closed to women in 1972. I am going to pause for a second to take a short break while you listen to information regarding willpower and encouragement. It is all a matter of learning new behaviors. And please remember, it is easier to build strong minds than to repair injured people. What I said is a modification of a quote by Frederick Douglass. He said, "It is easier to build strong children than to repair broken men." Now for my break.
I think one thing we can all agree on is how important it is to find time in your life to grow with your personal development, your hobbies, with your profession, to step outside of your routine to explore. We cannot grow. We cannot expect change unless we are willing to try something new. And that's what I want you to focus on right now. Are you willing to step outside of your comfort zone? Are you willing to try something new regardless of the outcome? Because even when you try and you might not succeed, you still grow from the experience. That's what life is about. Being comfortable even when you're not comfortable. And I promise you, once you start to take those chances, you will begin to attract new opportunities into your life. But trust me, this step is never easy. But what you need to focus on is the end result. Are you content with staying the same, or are you looking for growth? Are you looking for change? Are you looking for opportunity? If you are, this is how you do it. You need to grow. What we need to focus on now is bringing positive energy into the world. The energy that we project every day is the same energy that we get back. We've all seen those people that can walk into a room and they glow. People want to be around them. People feel better being in their presence. That's the energy that we need to create. And once we learn how to do this, our life will be filled with greatness. We will attract that positive energy. And how we do this is by changing our outlook, leading every day with gratitude, thankfulness, optimism. And once you do this, you will see the change. I want you to take a moment and close your eyes. Think about everything positive in your life. Family, friends, a career, your faith. All of this is how you start your day. Every morning you wake up, I want you to think about what is positive in your life. I want you to list 10 reasons of why your life is amazing. And once you do this, you will see the change. You will be the change. You will begin to attract life's blessings. Lead with gratitude. Be thankful. And think positive.
The next book you will hear discussed is the book Be Not Defeated in Hard Times. This book was written to help you toughen your mind, to give you staying power, and to help you believe. One of the things you must remember when you are attempting a change is you will meet resistance. Your friends will not want you to change, and your family members will not want you to change or get ahead of them. You must be prepared for resistance. You must be willing to walk away from these people to do for yourself what you need to do. You do not need to be distracted by people who do not want to work to get the things out of life that they want to. You must push these people aside and continue on your journey. This is your life, not theirs. Now, things will get tough. You may have to move to get away from all the negativity. So what? You may have to live in an apartment with no furniture. So what? You are doing what you want to do for yourself. You will not always be in an apartment with no furniture. Remember, you are changing your life to become a new person. And if your old friends and family members do not like the person that you are becoming, then tough. There's nothing you can do about this. You can't change their outlook on life. The only outlook that you can change is the outlook for yourself. All you can do is continue living your life for yourself. Now here's a discussion of the word to believe. Now let us discuss the dynamics of the word belief. This is important because this knowledge will help you change your behavior and where you will adopt a forward moving attitude. Remember President Barack Obama? No one believed he would win the Democratic nomination. He believed he could. He won his countrymen when he gave his speech at the National Democratic Convention. That was a great speech. You should listen to it on YouTube. And then you should take the time to read the speech on the internet. After you examine the speech, you will see how much President Barack Obama believed in himself. Now, the word to believe means to accept something as true. You trust whatever it is that you accept. Judy tells you she loves you, so you accept her word. Then you act on her word. When you believe something a person tells you, you consider that person talking to you as being honest and trustworthy. you put your confidence in whatever it is that they have told you. Now, belief is not only centered on what a person says. You can believe a chair will support your weight, so you will sit in that chair. You believe a certain food is good for you, so you will eat that food daily. Again, you are putting your trust in the food or the chair or the person. You rely on that belief. Now, when it comes to a metaphysical source, the same thing occurs. You put your faith in a God. There is no tangible support for your belief except your willingness to believe. You look for signs to support your belief, but eventually you come to accept verification of this God may take years or not at all. Nevertheless, you put your faith in this God, and when needed, you call upon Him to save you or help you with some problem. Now, here comes the problem. Many people will put their belief in a God. They will put their belief in another person. And they will put their belief in an inanimated object, like a chair. But they will not put their faith and belief in themselves. When they decide to go back to school, they tell themselves, "Oh God, I may not make it. All that money I pay in tuition will go to waste. Maybe I should just be satisfied with the job I have." There is no sense in asking Alice out on a date. She'll just turn me down. There is no sense in asking my boss for a raise. My boss will just say he doesn't have the money to pay me anyway. On and on these negative thoughts appear whenever faith in oneself is needed to accomplish a task or to do something new. Why it's so hard for you to believe in yourself when you are quite willing to believe in a deity, you're quite willing to believe in your best friend's advice, and you're quite willing to believe in an inanimated object. You really need to give this question some thought. Why is it so hard for you to believe in yourself? Why do you have more confidence in what your girlfriend has to tell you than your own mind? What is needed here is a new way of thinking. Anytime you conclude that an action will benefit you, and then you turn around and talk yourself out of taking the first step in achieving that action, you need to examine the way you think, because the way you are thinking is hurting you. What is the worst thing that can happen if you ask Alice out on a date? The worst thing is she will say no. What is the worst thing that can happen if you ask your boss for a raise? The worst thing that can happen is he can say no. In both situations, there is an alternative action that you can take. You can ask another woman out after Alice refuses you, and you can go and find another job at a higher wage if your boss refuses to pay you the way you think you should be paid. You do not have to accept either of these results if you do not want to. Alice is not the only woman on the planet. What are you looking for? You're looking for a woman who is interested in you. And the job you have is not the only job on the planet. There are other employers. Also, what if you lose money in tuition trying to go back to school? At least you tried to improve your situation. Are you not worth betting on? At least you did not go home every day frustrated, hating the way your life is turning out without doing something about it. You went back to school. You have to fight for your life. You have to fight for your dreams. If you have a dream of a wife that adores you, go out and find a woman that adores you. If you're looking for a job that you enjoy, then go out and find that job. by getting whatever education you need along the way to secure that job. Now, here is what happens to so many people when they make a decision to change or they're confronted by a problem in their life. They allow doubt and uncertainty to creep into their thoughts, and that doubt and uncertainty persist. The way you think is making you weak. Carl Austin, an author and a journalist from the years 1874 to 1936, he said a weak man has doubts before a decision. A strong man has them after that decision. Think about what Carl Austin just said. He said a weak man has doubts before making a decision. A strong man has doubts afterwards. The strong man believes in proceeding with his decision. The way you're thinking is making you weak. Worry, fear, and doubt kills people every day. Now I want you to follow my thinking for a second, okay? Just listen to me. Doubt and uncertainty is a force in your life. Listen to me. Doubt and uncertainty is a force in your life. I want you to put one hand on your other arm, okay? Now apply pressure. That's a force. Well, doubt and uncertainty is also a force that acts on your body. At this moment, I want you to think about the definition of the word force. Force is a physical phenomenon. It is a subject of physics. Now here is the definition of the word force. I want you to remember this definition, and I want you to apply it to yourself. Anytime you begin to feel bad, especially mentally. In physics, a force is an interaction that, when opposed, will change the motion of an object. Listen to me. In physics, a force is an interaction that, when unopposed, will change the motion of an object. That means when you're thinking negative thoughts and you do not oppose those thoughts, your actions will be changed. A force can cause an object with mass to change its velocity, to accelerate. Force can also be described intuitively as a pull or push. Now, there are 8 different forces in nature when you're discussing physics. There is an applied force, there's air resistance force, there's a normal force, there's a tension force, there's a frictional force, there's a non-contact force. Now, when you go to the dictionary for the definition of force, it says a force is a strength or energy exerted or brought to bear on an object. It causes motion. It can cause moral or mental strength. It is the capacity to persuade or convince the force of an object. It can constrain, exert upon, or against a person or thing. See, when you begin to doubt and to worry, you begin to act upon yourself negatively. You're exerting force against yourself. And normally the consequences of this force is a disaster. Go on. A force is a push or pull upon an object. You're the object. Whenever there is an interaction between two objects, there is a force upon each of those objects. Again, let me say it again. Whenever there's an interaction between two objects, there is a force upon each of those objects. When the interaction ceases, the two objects no longer experience a force. Force only exists as a result of an interaction. When you stop worrying or speaking negative to yourself, then the force stops. See how these definitions apply to you when you worry? You feel sick. You are depressed. These forces act upon you adversely. You become lethargic, despondent, the more you worry and doubt. the stomach becomes upset. When finally all you want to do is not feel bad. The forces of worry and doubt overtake your life and make you inactive. Think about this for a moment. Listen to this tape over and over again. Once you start worrying, these emotions, this force, begins to act upon your body. You begin to feel bad. You begin to fear. Finally, you are sick. You will want to run and hide. You want to escape the pain. You want it gone. The mental pain is bearing down on you when you worry, doubt, and live in fear. To get relief, you stop thinking, you shut down, you run. Today I want to discuss the book Be Not Defeated in Hard Times. I'm introducing this book to you because I want you to realize how much you can learn about your life and the lives of others by reading. It's important that you read. Please, please start reading because reading can truly change your life. This book talks to you about fighting, standing up for yourself, believing in yourself, and changing your life. When you are faced with adversity, every human being is called upon to stand up. This book is designed to give you the strength to do just that. One of our pocket sized devotionals. With this book at your side, you can reach for encouragement, refreshment, and the strength to fight life's battles. You do not have to stick your head in the sand. You can stand up. We want to remind you that you can win at life. Life is a joyful experience that is supposed to be filled with happiness and at God's helm. This book will help you to stay mindful of your responsibilities to God and yourself. Your family will benefit from your diligence. Before you begin to read the book, Be Not Defeated in Hard Times, please read Isaiah 65, verse 24 several times. Now read the verse Jeremiah 33, verse 3. Read that several times. Now, God said in Isaiah 65:24, and it shall come to pass that before they call, I will answer, and while they are yet speaking, I shall hear. Firmly implant this verse in your mind so that every time you think of praying, you will say this to yourself: God is going to hear me. God said, before I finish praying, he shall answer me. Yet here I want you to stop for a second. There is one rub in this passage that sends people reeling. You will be right in believing God will hear you and he will answer your prayer. But he may not answer your prayer as to way that you wish. He may provide what he thinks is right for you, but you may not be in agreement. What you pray for may not be what you need. Therefore, when we do not receive what we have prayed for, we think that there is not a God or God doesn't care for us. You must understand that God can see further down the road than you. You may be praying to purchase your first Cadillac, but God knows one of your children will develop a life-threatening disease and you will need more money to hold your house together. So if you purchase a Cadillac, will you have to wait until the emergency blows over? Think about it. You will need that money if your child develops a life-threatening illness. Read Isaiah 65, verse 24 to yourself each day. This will keep you hopeful. It will give you courage to face the day. This passage tells you you can rely upon God. This passage is one of the most powerful verses in the Bible. It is the foundation of your relationship with God. He says, I shall answer you before you finish speaking. Man cannot perform this as well. Man has to consult his maps and charts before he can tell you about the weather. And man surely cannot tell you what will occur in the future. Count on God. That is correct. Count on God. Stop relying on the world to tell you what to do. Now consider this. In the 1960s, man told women that it was all right to shack up with a man. We will no longer judge you harshly. It is okay for you to have a baby and not be married. You can just stand on a mound of grass and pledge yourself to one another, and that will be fine. Well, what is the results of this promise? Devastation. We have 25 million children running around this country living without their fathers, and many of them have been turned into monsters. No, no, not one of these children is eligible for Social Security because they do not bear their father's name. Their father's name is absent from their birth certificate. The male children who have been abandoned are so filled with rage and anger that they are killing women at an escalated rate. There is a man sitting on death row in Tennessee, and he is an abomination to God. The sum total of his entire life merged into the destruction of two individuals who had never done him any harm. He murdered two strangers. How much anger he must have contained. I do not even know whether the Word of God can help him. This man was sexually abused as a child, and he has not forgotten that abuse. In fact, the abuse is at the center of his thoughts every waking moment of his life. He saw two innocent people and unleashed his fury on the world. The world had destroyed his life with all its rules and regulations. Now he was going to destroy two innocent people. A murder like this also happened in Colorado, Texas, and California, where the sexually abused child responded to the world's rejection of him. Anytime society does not protect a child, that is rejection. Now, society can use its power to take a child from his mother, yet society does not use its power to protect that child from sexual abuse in the foster care system. The only thing our foster care system has done is accomplish the destruction of children. Why was there not work done to restore the family, correct what was broken, repair the broken psyche of the woman that was abandoned? No society should take a child from the bosom of their mother and let them be prey to sexual deviants who turn these children into alcoholics and dope addicts. Do you know there are women in this country with two sons on death row? The book goes on to discuss illicit drugs. It says illicit drugs use is associated with suicide, homicide, and motor vehicle injuries, HIV infection, pneumonia, violence, mental illness, and hepatitis. At least 3 million individuals in the United States have a serious drug problem. Several studies have reported an undercount of the number of deaths attributed to drugs by vital statistics. However, improved medical treatment has reduced mortalities from many diseases associated with the illegal drug use. In keeping with the report by McGuinness, we include deaths caused indirectly by illicit drug use in this category. We use attributable fractions to compute the number of deaths due to illicit drugs. Overall, we estimate that illicit drugs use results in approximately 17,000 deaths in 2000, a reduction of 3,000 deaths from the 1990 report. The man who killed the two innocent people in Tennessee, he could not have been raised by a father. If he was, then his father was a very foolish, stupid man. The man on death row in Tennessee was created into this state because a woman believed the promises of a man. You can shack up with a man and have a child without the benefit of marriage, and it would be okay by the world's standards. She believed this man's promise, and the results of that promise was having a son waiting on death row until he is executed for 2 counts of first degree murder. If you can believe the promises of man, why can you not believe the promises of God? Believe this. God says, before they call, I will answer. And while they are yet speaking, I shall hear. God says, do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. In Isaiah 41:10, God said, do not fear and do not dismay. Do not lose courage or resolution or be alarmed. God said he will strengthen you and he will help you. God is not like man. He is not like man. He does not speak and make promises that he doesn't mean. If you are in trouble and you worry a lot, you need to read the book, Be Not Defeated in Hard Times. Go to the website, touchedbythelight.us, and read the first chapter of this book.
Life is at its best when you get to the mountaintop. Nevertheless, at times we lose our way and land in the valley. Adversity comes and shakes us in fear. What do you do at such a time? Where do you get your strength when it's gone? Be Not Defeated in Hard Times is the book you need to overcome such fears and gain back your strength. It's cheap, $10.95 only. To purchase this book, log into touchedbythelight.us/regular-publications before it's out of stock.
Having a goal or a plan to accomplish something isn't enough. You need to dig deeper than that. You need to tap into your subconscious to begin to reprogram your mind. And you do this through positive affirmations. Short statements that you repeat every day, regardless of your goal, how big or little. Whether your goal is to make more money, be a better boyfriend or girlfriend, or find a better job, whatever your goal is, you need to come up with short, positive statements about that goal and repeat it each morning. Start by doing this for 5 minutes. And once you begin to do this, you will start to see how the subconscious and conscious mind can work together. You have the potential to do amazing things. And through positive affirmations, you start to build that confidence. Think of all the goals that you've made in the past. Think about the mindset you were in at that moment. It was one of confidence and control. I will be successful in my job. I will make my next promotion. I will meet the love of my life. These are words of affirmation. Now tell me, what are your words?
Dear male listeners, our show may be called Women of Courage, but our name should not stop you from listening to our show. You have as much to learn and to consider as women. Why? Because many of you are fathers, sons, and brothers, and you need to understand those forces and situations that affect the female members of your family. So we do implore you to listen to our show, with an ear for understanding. Thank you.
Dear listeners, help us save a life. Stop breast cancer from taking lives. Will you assist us in putting the booklet, Black Women and Breast Cancer, into the hands of 1 million people? Please go to the website touchedbythelight.us and download the booklet, Black Women and Breast Cancer. Then email this booklet to 5 family members and friends, asking them to email the booklet to 5 of their friends. We're trying to reach 1 million women with this information to save lives. The death of 1 woman to breast cancer from our community is 1 woman too many. We thank you for your support.
This video was brought to you by the Women and Children's Restoration Ministries. Why not email us at murderedvoices@gmail.com and learn about the programs we have to assist women. We welcome women who wish to participate. Surely you have a few hours each month to help us with one of our programs. We believe that one of our programs, Recruiting Citizens, The Wall Project, Black Women in Cancer, Teach Someone to Read, will interest you, where you might volunteer once a month to help us. Our primary function is to assist women in changing their lives. Email us today. We would appreciate your help. Join us at the Women of Courage Show every Friday from 3 to 4 p.m. and every Sunday from 8 to 9 a.m. for information that will change your life. You can also visit us at our website, touchedbythelight.us, for more information. Thank you. If you do not like your life, then change it. Listen to us when we broadcast, and we can help you find a new way.